And these politicians are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump, they want to blame the Trump administration.
Man, doing fine.
Infamous, show us that you're black again.
It's a show us that you're black again. Show us that you're black again.
Bro, I don't need it.
Stuff? Do they be looking
Bro, I'm not in a
a
Zoom, man.
Show us that you're black again.
Me like I'm some kind of zoo animal, man.
We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor who fucking doesn't care. How many more people?
President Donald Trump came under fire on social media late Thursday after posting a 1-minute clip on his Truth Social account that briefly depicted former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as monkeys. The clip contained claims a graphic questioning President Joe Biden's win in Pennsylvania in the 2020 presidential election. However, at the 59-second mark, an AI-generated image of Obama's face superimposed onto a monkey's body and suddenly appears as the song "The Lion Sleeps Tonight," and then it quickly goes back to the video. So it's like a small little snippet of it, of them being monkeys.
That is bad. Oh, don't play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying.
Yo, there's no flying monkeys in The Lion King. I be trying to laugh with the bros. Yo, why they got Barack Obama and Michelle Obama on top of the apes? Yo, if you wanted to throw a jab, you could have put them on some snakes, but you put them on apes, you know. But once again, Trump, he didn't make the video. So, ladies and gentlemen, before you point the finger, pause. Do your homework. Don't be prisoner of the moment. Don't believe one content creator as if what they're saying is law. They were saying that Trump made the video. No, ladies and gentlemen, it wasn't Trump. Stop the cap. Nevertheless, still, he was getting some heat because it was reposted on his platform. So how's the president not proofreading what he is retweeting? But once again, now they're saying it wasn't even him to retweet it. So do your homework before you point the finger. Not everything is the president's fault. Crazy work. Was y'all holding Joe Biden to the same standards? Sleepy Joe, he got away with a lot. He did a whole term. What did Joe Biden do?
Oh, don't play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying.
Now we got Hillary Clinton as a war hog. Where's the videos? Where are the content creators making videos about Hillary Clinton? I don't see no videos about her. And this is supposed to represent Simone and Pumbaa from The Lion King.
They got
Simone and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass. This shit is crazy. Wow.
Here we got Kamala Harris as a turtle and former President Joe Biden as a baboon. I don't see no content creators making videos about Joe Biden. Why is Joe Biden a baboon? Is this racist, ladies and gentlemen? Is this considered racist?
Oh, they got Joe.
Yo, pause.
Joe a monkey too.
Whoa! Whoa! Hold on, man. Hold on. We already had one live taken down because of Joe Biden. Hold on now. Pause. Yo, where's the heat for Joe Biden? Like, this is crazy work. Forget Obama. This right here on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, this is some nasty work. Justice for Joe Biden. Crazy word. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on.
They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he eat the banana like that?
Wow.
Oh, he alive.
He's the king of the jungle.
Oh, she a
my
pig.
God.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
You know she lives in Houston?
Something caught my eye in the comments. It's Little Toilet says the Super Bowl made me racist. I'm gonna play that clip here shortly. What happened in the Super Bowl, and we're gonna break down. Because I, ladies and gentlemen, went to sleep. I did not watch the Super Bowl, and I had one of the best naps ever. You know, those recharge naps to get ready for the week. So I'm not going to spend 2 hours watching the Seattle and Patriots. Now, I heard the halftime show was entertaining, so we're going to break that down here shortly. But before we go into that, ladies and gentlemen, if Barack Obama was the only participant in this video, then okay. But there's other people. The whole Democratic Party is in this video. You got Kamala Harris as a turtle and Joe Biden doing the unthinkable to a banana. Crazy work.
Got Joe a monkey too. They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he eat the banana like that?
Wow.
Oh, he alive.
He's the king of the jungle.
Oh, she a
my
pig.
God.
Oh my goodness.
You know she lives in Houston?
She lives in Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bruh.
Is that Harry?
That's
All right,
Harry.
we
Look
all
at
know-
Whoopi. She's a hippo.
Trump didn't actually make the video, y'all, but he did drop it.
Trump did not make the video, but he did repost it.
He seen it. He seen it. Wow.
His name. This racist video that was posted on your social media.
A hell of a lot better than you do. You don't know what's going on. I know what's going on. No, Joe Biden didn't have a clue, but we know everything. And when you look at what's happening with our economy, think of it, we're way years ahead of schedule. We have thousands and thousands of businesses being built right now. So Joe Biden had no clue. If Joe Biden were elected or if Kamala were elected, we wouldn't have a country right now.
You won the election because of minority voters. Does this post maybe hurt Republicans with, black voters after the...
I think, look, we did criminal justice reform. I did the historically black colleges and universities. I got them funded. Nobody has been, and that's why I got the highest vote with male black voters that they've seen in many, many decades. I've done great with them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. And I am, by the way, the least racist president you've had in a long time, as far as I'm concerned. We have, I've had a great relation. Think of what I've done. Criminal justice reform. Nobody else could do it. Obama couldn't do it. Nobody could do it. Clinton couldn't do it. They actually went the other way. They went into a very bad thing for African American people, black people. They went to it. They did very bad things. I did very good things. But criminal justice reform, and then I funded the universities, which nobody else was willing to do. They were going every year. They'd come back to Washington and they'd be begging for money, begging. I got to be friendly with some of the heads of the schools, and they would come back and they would literally tell me they're forcing us to beg. I'm the one that got them long-term financing and more than they were looking for. So there's nobody that's done more. And I think maybe more than anything else was criminal justice reform. They've been trying to get it for years, and I'm the one that got it done. So nobody can tell me about that. That somebody posts a staffer, post, and I knew it was all about. If you take a look at that and see the whole thing, it was a small section at the very end, but that was about fraudulent elections, which we have a lot of them. We're going to get it stopped, and I liked the beginning. I saw it and just passed it on. And I guess probably nobody reviewed the end of it because what I saw at the beginning was really, really strong. It was about fraudulent elections. And anytime I see that stuff and when it's credible, you put it up. But somebody slipped and missed a very small part. Now, by the way, again, and take off one, I guess. I didn't do it, by the way. This was done by somebody else. This was a retruth. That was not done by us. But that was a very strong truth. It was a very strong statement made about the fraudulent elections in a certain part of our country, which are really bad.
It's bad. Oh, don't play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying.
They got
they Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe Monkey too. Joe Monkey too.
A freaking frog!
Donald Trump had to say about Bad Bunny's halftime show. He called the show, quote, absolutely terrible.
Adios mio. Donald Trump absolutely hates Bad Bunny.
Shout out to D Green with this, man. Hey.
Now, Bad Bunny has been on a generational run. Like just last week, he became the first artist to win a Grammy for a fully Spanish album. 1 week he's winning a Grammy, and the next week he's performing at one of the biggest events in America, the Super Bowl. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but this nigga Bad Bunny is Puerto Rican, right?
Right.
And y'all know football is America's sport, American football. And let's just say that Donald Trump, as well as many others, was not happy with Bad Bunny's performance.
Why would I watch the halftime show or care if I don't understand what he's saying?
Yo.
I be trying to laugh with the bros.
I understand the culture, but I didn't understand a word Bad Bunny was saying.
I be trying to laugh with the bros.
Like, of course, the passion was there, but come on, man. Now, how's the conservative American, how are they supposed to portray that? They can't comprehend. At least have a translator doing hand signs, doing something. Like, we don't even know what you're saying, bro. And you on the biggest of stage. Is this the first time somebody spoke Spanish the whole Super Bowl halftime? Like, I didn't watch it live. I had to watch the replay. And even then, I couldn't watch the whole thing, bruh. I heard there was a lot of deep hidden messages. Turn a arena to a little Puerto Rico. But still, can we have a translator?
People are saying you're racist for not wanting to watch or support Bad Bunny, and I'm like, I think that's the problem. I think there's an agenda behind why he's performing, and you're a part of it. I don't understand what he's saying, so I'm not gonna listen to it. I don't care. He's not speaking my language. Why are you trying to make me feel uncomfortable on an English-speaking territory? Or in an English-speaking territory, I'm sorry. I don't understand what he's saying, so I don't really care. I don't know why he's performing if he can't speak English. That's just how I feel about it. It's just the NFL. This isn't the World Cup with soccer or something. I can understand that. But it's the NFL. Even in soccer, bro, when they be having like America News or something like that, like these folks translate the post-game interview in English. So I need that at the Super Bowl halftime show. It's the Super Bowl. If you can't translate the song in English, big dog, I'm gonna need you to find somebody else. Because I don't know what you're saying. And no, I'm not racist just because I don't know what you're saying. Or just because I don't care about what you gotta say because I don't know what you're saying.
No! Bro, even Chris Brown was disappointed with Bad Baby.
Wait, what?
Bro, even Chris Brown was disappointed with Bad Bunny. He says, I think it's safe to say they need me. No! Well, honestly, we all know the real reason that Chris Brown hasn't performed at a Super Bowl yet. You don't know how to keep your hands to yourself. Now, Chris Brown, you're still considered a legend, but you're still blackballed from doing top-tier shows like this. Let's just be realistic. But then, of course, there's weirdos like Jake Paul that says he's purposely turning off the halftime show.
Okay.
Let's rally together and show big corporations they can't just do whatever they want without consequences. He says turn off this halftime. A fake American citizen performing who publicly hates America. I cannot support that.
Huh?
My nigga, Jake Paul, don't you live in Puerto Rico to dodge taxes? Loser. What are you talking about, bro? Nobody takes you serious. And I don't take your boxing career serious. Like 95% of your fights are all scripted. You're a fake boxer. Bro, niggas start getting money and just say anything, bro. Jake Paul, you are not a leader. Nobody's listening to anything you're saying, bro. Ain't this nigga from Disney Channel?
Ayo, I'm Jake Paul from Bizarre Bar, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Weirdo. Now, I'ma be 1,000 with y'all. I had no problem with Bad Bunny performing. Now, do I understand everything Bad Bunny was saying? Por supuesto que no.
Huh?
I be trying to laugh with the bros.
Yo. Give us a translator, like sign language, something. How subtitles? Like, come on, man.
Say what?
Entiendo un poco de español. But how do y'all not fuck with Bad Bunny? Bro, all the Latinas love Bad Bunny. So I love Bad Bunny. Simple.
This man said all the Latinos love Bad Bunny, so I love Bad Bunny.
I be trying to laugh with the bros.
Hey, to every each its own. I personally know Gemma, but hell, he does some, you know, we're gonna have to keep it YouTube friendly. But yeah, he's pushing a agenda for sure.
7, 8, como 7.
What's that? Bad Bunny won that Grammy for a reason. Y'all complaining about Bad Bunny, and whole time I'm like these. What he say? Me la voy a elatoya, un VIP. Hey, stop sleeping on Bad Bunny, bro.
What did he say?
I know a lot of y'all niggas don't understand what he's saying, but you can't lie. This music makes you want to dance.
They ain't no goddamn Bad Bunny. They goddamn Bad Bunny, man.
But Donald Trump feels otherwise. Donald Trump took the Truth Social. Donald Trump says the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever.
Really?
No, the Black Eyed Peas had the worst halftime show of all time. Ouch! He says it makes no sense, is an affront to the greatness of America, and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. I be trying to laugh with the bros.
The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It's an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying. Damn. But as we know it, Bad Bunny, he was advocating for Kamala Harris. So Trump is just, shooting his jabs.
Dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from
Wait, there's more. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching. Now he's doing the most now for young children. Yo, what about when Usher did the unthinkable to Janet Jackson? Yo, I was a kid. My brain didn't even understand what was going on, bruh. You had Janet Jackson and yo, that was a malfunction, wardrobe malfunction. I got exposed to Janet Jackson. I had to do my homework. Who is this lady? She go way back. Yo, crazy word. Ladies and gentlemen, did y'all remember that? I think that was the Panthers versus the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken, in the Super Bowl. Man, I'll never forget that halftime show. Talk about eyes glued to the yo. Oh yeah, it was Justin Timberlake, man. Justin Timberlake, yo, you know what you was doing, bruh. Come on, you saw all those buttons and you still was reaching. Come on, bruh. Now, I seen no more than 15 minutes of that Bad Bunny performance, and what I seen, I didn't see nobody fully, in their underwear, pretty much shaking their backside. It seems somewhat respectful. The only thing that I'm a critic of is I didn't understand a word he was saying. But as for the woman being dressed correctly, yeah, they carry themselves very well. So yeah, Trump is just moving the goalposts.
Throughout the USA.
Huh?
Now, wait, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Trump is talking about protecting children?
Sure.
My nigga, weren't you just in the Epstein files? Weirdo.
Hey, Dios mío.
Bro, no way you said the halftime show was disgusting for children, bro. When whole time you were on Epstein Island. Allegedly. Ah, shit, bro. I forgot I'm talking about the president. Do not send those SUVs to my residence. This show is just a slap in the face to our country. Shit! Which is setting new standards and records every single day, including the best stock market in 410KZ history. He says there is nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show.
Yo, when did Twitter allow so much caps to write? That's a lot of characters. You can write a whole story now on Twitter?
It will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't gotten a clue of what is.
Bro, it's still going. Bro, he wrote a whole biography. This is a whole introduction to an essay.
I be trying to laugh with the bros. Going on in the real world. Now, Donald Trump, do you really want to talk about what's going on in the real world?
Come on.
You're literally a PDF file, and you're worried about a halftime show? You should probably be a...
Yo, why this man got so many photos with this guy to the right that we're not going to say out loud?
I be trying to laugh with the bros.
YouTube already took one live down. They ain't trying to have another, ladies and gentlemen.
I be trying to laugh with the bros. Arrested.
Police, freeze!
Now, I'm not no political ass nigga. I'm not gonna sit up here and say I know all about politics, but I know a PDF file when I see one. Weirdo.
Oh, shit. Yo. That's tough.
I be trying to laugh with the bros. You're worried about the wrong things, Mr. Trump. But of course, he's a billionaire. He's a president. He can get away with stuff like this, right? You're trying to say Bad Bunny is a distraction. You're the one that's trying to distract us from these Epstein files.
Sheesh. Is that why the monkey video came out? Is that why the monkey video came out, ladies and gentlemen? Because that's what everyone is talking about. And once again, it's a distraction from the Epstein files. Let's go backwards for a little bit. Epstein files was getting heated back in November. And next thing you know, they cut EBT. Now people are talking about they're going to rob the grocery store and then they're going to starve for 30 days until the government feeds them. So whenever Epstein becomes the main attention, something else takes away that attention from the Epstein files. I'm just saying.
And Jay-Z, don't think I didn't see you at the Super Bowl, buddy. Weirdo. You can't hide either.
Damn, Jay-Z got caught up. Allegedly.
Now, obviously, we know the real reason why Trump doesn't like Bad Bunny, bro. Bad Bunny was endorsing Kamala Harris. So yeah, there's definitely some history behind this. This man Trump done changed all the rules and is getting all of Bad Bunny's primas deported. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the NFL always has a deeper message with their halftime show. They specifically chose Bad Bunny for a reason, bro. Bad Bunny has international.
Bad Bunny with a powerful message during his Super Bowl halftime show. The only thing more powerful than hate is love.
Motion. Do you know how many people who have never watched football in their life tuned into the Super Bowl just because Bad Bunny was performing?
That's true. That's excellent marketing. Shout out to the NFL. You know, they finessed the whole Taylor Swift situation. They recently finessed a little bit of the who was it? The Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. They know how to capitalize. They some trolls for sure.
The NFL knew exactly what they were doing, bro. They send a message every year. Why do y'all think they had Kendrick performing last year? Because y'all remember one of the biggest rap beefs in history was ongoing. Remember, Kendrick was calling Drake a PDF file?
Here's what President Donald Trump had to say about Bad Bunny's halftime show. He called the show, quote, absolutely terrible.
A mistake after that blatantly racist video was posted on his own social media account, and the president is now claiming that he did not see the part of the video that depicted former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes. The president's comments coming after an avalanche of backlash over the video that was posted late Thursday night. But at first, the White House press secretary defended the president's post, saying, please stop the fake outrage. But the criticism only grew from there, including from Republican leaders who rarely disagree with President Trump on anything. For instance, Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, the Senate's only black Republican, called Trump's post the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. Congressman Mike Turner of Ohio called the post offensive, heartbreaking, and unacceptable. Then about 12 hours after the video was posted, it was taken down. After that, a White House official told ABC News that a White House staffer erroneously made the post, but Gio, the press secretary, has not walked back her defense of the racist image, and the president is not apologizing.
All right, Selena, thank you so much for your reporting there.
Boy. So we got to continue our coverage of the fake outrage from the mainstream liberal media over President Trump posting video that had 1 second of the video show Michelle and Barack Obama as apes and
That's bad. Oh, no, play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying in.
They got
they Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe Monkey too.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need content creators to make videos of why Joe Biden got the worst end of the smoke because people are mad about Barack Obama. What about Joe Biden, bruh? Why is he eating that banana like that? I'm the only content creator mad about what's happening to Joe Biden. I'm not the only one sticking up for Joe Biden, bruh. Sleepy Joe. This man is doing the unthinkable to a banana. You're gonna have to keep your YouTube friendly. YouTube. Hold on, YouTube. You already took down one of my lives because of Joe Biden. Hold on. Let's go on to the next scene. Hold on. Crazy word.
Haven't seen The Lion King. There are no apes in The Lion King. There's not one ape. There's a baboon, Rafiki. He is actually central to the story, but there's not one ape in the movie. So let's just be for real right now. There's not an ape in The Lion King. So I would have never put out a statement like that. The one time somebody thought the person I worked for did say something that was racist and inhumane, I went to my principal and encouraged the principal to apologize and explain to them why what they said was problematic, okay? So Eugene, I cannot grasp this. This is the last thing I'll say. It is not racist because it is offensive. It is offensive because it is inherently racist. The trope about depicting black people as animals goes all the way back to white Europeans looking for a justification for colonization and the enslavement of African people. And it gained prominence in the 1700s and 1800s, and it became a racial, like a scientific theory. I'm using air quotes. And it was a mainstream theory that put a hierarchy that said white Europeans were at the top and Africans were at the bottom, and apes, depiction of apes was very central to this theory. They were at the bottom. They were closer to primitive beings such as apes. Therefore, black people, specifically in that time, Africans, were more better suited for forced labor and domination. So it is racist because the root of this theory, this trope, this joke, okay, that the White House is talking about, is rooted in the ability to dominate, rape, pillage, and inflict violence upon black people.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we gotta talk about the latest fake outrage from the left over a meme that President Trump posted on his Truth Social depicting the Obamas as apes and monkeys, right? Now, you know, I guess when you see something like this in isolation, right, to, you know, leftists and liberals and, you know, sensitive folks, it can be offensive. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. When I first saw this, I chuckled a little bit, right? I wasn't butthurt. I was like, okay, you know, let's see exactly why this was posted, right? In the full context, because with anything that Trump does and the liberal media is upset about, you gotta look at the full context. You cannot take it in isolation. You gotta look at the full context. But the context doesn't matter here because these people are gonna cry racism no matter what, right? And I'm just here to let you guys know that, you know, long story short, when it comes to this story and Trump posting this as a black person, and I can't speak for black MAGA, black Republicans, because, you know, there are a lot of people say, what does black MAGA, black Republicans have to say about this? I'll just let you know right now, right? I don't give a right? I don't give one F, okay? So I just want people to understand how I feel about this. I don't care. But we're going to talk about it because, you know, this is what the liberal media is upset about. So what Trump actually posted was a video about the election, right? And, of course, you know, they don't want to talk about this part of it.
Initiated by a court order, the Michigan investigation team obtained forensic access to a DS200 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, Dominion machines, ESNS machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
Yeah, so as you can see here, right? This video, the original video, was reposted by Trump on Truth Social, but it wasn't a video that he made. Now, it looks like it was one of those videos where somebody may have been screen recording and then it flipped up to some other random video, because that's what happens, right? If you're screen recording on X and, you know, you are looking at other videos, it's very easy to, you know, easily flip to the next video, right? That's what it looks like to me, okay? And you can see the original video here, right, in full context. It's not just, you know, the Obamas or whatever, but is also Democrats, right? Democrats. Okay, the title of this video is President Trump, King of the Jungle. So it's a bunch of Democrats as, you know, animals, right? Kamala's a turtle. I think Biden's an orangutan. So, I mean, you know, hey, is that racist, right? Is Biden been orangutan racist, or is it just black folks, right, that are depicted as apes? Is that the only thing that's racist? You have Trump as a lion, right? I think that's the plus-size Democrat influencer, right?
Oh, no, play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying.
They got
they Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe.
You got Kamala Harris right there as the turtle, and Joe Biden looking at this banana in a very expressive. He looks excited to indulge in this banana. Now, justice for Joe Biden. Like, forget about the Obamas, bro. No man should be going out like this in a car. This is a grown, more than grown ass man. Why they got him eating a banana like this? Like, who is Joe Biden to me? And I'm feeling some type of way for Joe Biden, bro. They did him dirty.
Joe a monkey too. Too.
That's crazy. bruh. That's insane.
I be trying to laugh with the bros.
Please, do you condemn the racist parts of the video?
Of course I do. Yeah.
We
have two great teams. Bob Kraft is a fabulous owner, a friend of mine. New England's amazing that they're there. Who would think? It's like a second, you can't say dynasty yet. They had a dynasty. You'll have to win a lot of games before you create another one. But I think it's going to be a great game. There's a lot of interesting storylines.
Respectfully, I did not watch the Super Bowl. I took the best naps of my life. We charged. And I'm glad I did take my nap. I didn't miss nothing. It was a snooze fest. They said the highlight was actually the halftime show. Try to watch the replay of that. Can't understand the man. I see the passion, but yeah. Sports is just not the same anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
Gonna be great.
What's the message to the many Americans who were offended by the video? What do you want to tell those Americans?
I didn't know about it, so I mean, it went up. I really have no message. All I know is, here's my message, that our country has never been in a position like this. We were a laughing stock all over the world, and now we're a country that's respected more than we've ever been respected before. If you go back a year and a half ago, our country was a laughing stock, and now we're respected all over the world, like probably almost never before. I would say maybe like never before. And, you know, it's, if you look at it from an economic standpoint, the King of Saudi Arabia said it, others said it, we were not a country that was even thought of as a country that was going to make it back. And in 1 year, we're the hottest country. We are right now the hottest country anywhere in the world. So that's my message.
Listen, Hakeem Jeffries Whoopi, right? Harry Simpson. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's a meme. Now, the White House, they're claiming that Trump didn't actually post this, that some intern or some staffer, right, posted this on Truth, right, on his Truth profile. This is what they're claiming. Take a look.
House is responding to criticism after President Trump posted a video that includes a racist meme depicting former President Obama and his wife Michelle as apes. Now the Senate's only black Republican senator is responding and calling out the White House. ABC's Jay O'Brien's here with more on that. Hi, Jay, what's the latest?
Yeah, Diane, just moments ago, the video was deleted from President Trump's account, and it comes after a growing chorus of Republican lawmakers called on the White House to take the racist image down, including, as you say, Senator Tim Scott, who posted the image in addition to his post. ABC is not showing the image, but we are showing you the post, and it says, quote, praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it. The racist image comes at the end of a minute-long video the president posted on his social media platform. The first 59 seconds describe debunk election conspiracy theories from 2020, and at the end, the video suddenly cuts to an animated meme showing the Obamas' faces on the bodies of apes. The NAACP is out with a statement saying in part, quote, Donald Trump's video is blatantly racist, disgusting, and utterly despicable, end quote. That again from the NAACP. Images of black people as apes have been used throughout American history to dehumanize them. Slave traders and segregationists use these types of images to depict black people as inferior, and at times it's led to violence. Initially, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said in a statement, quote, this is from an internet meme depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public, end quote. But again, since that statement, the video now appears to have been deleted, and the White House is now saying from an anonymous staffer, quote, that they erroneously made the post.
Reposting a racist meme is not an excuse for posting something racist, the fact that it was a meme. Second, he only posted the part of that meme video that featured the Obamas, not any other part of it. Third, one does have to wonder about the worldview of the meme maker, given that there are no apes in The Lion King. For those wondering, Rafiki's a mandrill.
When you saw this image, if we can put it up, it's an awful image of the Obamas that the president put out. According to Sam Stein, it has been the White House has taken it down. But your thoughts?
I saw some people arguing, do you think that he really posted this? Do you think, yeah, of course I think he really posted that. Your default position should not be maybe he didn't. Your default position should be to understand why he definitely did. There's a lot of people that say Donald Trump ushered in this new age of white supremacy, that Donald Trump ushered in hate and all this stuff. And that's not true. Hate ushered in Donald Trump. White supremacy ushered in Donald Trump.
The idea that anyone would post a video like that, let alone the president of the United States, someone who's supposed to find ways to bring us together, someone who's supposed to appeal to our better angels, this guy seems to always find a lower and lower common denominator. Here in Pennsylvania, we respect all people, no matter what they look like, where they come from, who they love, who they pray to, who they choose not to pray to. We don't scapegoat others, and we certainly don't peddle in racist videos and other racist statements like this president has made. He needs to do better, and I think the good people of Pennsylvania recognize that. You know, we're a Commonwealth that was founded by William Penn as a place that would be warm and welcoming for all. I take it very seriously, and I know the elected leaders take it very seriously here, that we be a place that is welcoming for all. And the president's conduct, once again, unfortunately, erodes that, but we're not going to let him win on that. We're going to appeal to our better angels, and we're going to do the right thing here. And we're not going to get sucked down into the depths that this president seems to reach for each day.
So, again, I just want you guys to understand. I am not like some of these other people, right? Some of these Republicans, including black Republicans, black conservatives, whatever, that's going to come out here and say, oh, what the president posted was racist. He needs to apologize. This is not a good look. Right? Nah, that's not me. It's not me. I'm just not going to do it. Right? And I'm going to explain to you why I'm not going to do it, because one, I'm not offended, right? Let's keep it 100. I'm not offended. Clearly, it was an accident. Clearly, it was not something that was done on purpose, right? There was no real intent behind it. Now, I guess you can argue that the president and his truth post, right, should be thoroughly vetted before he posts something like that. But we already know that Trump's truth posts are, not censored, right? For the most part. So the thing is like, this is not new, right? This is not out of the blue. This is not out of the ordinary for me. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, the president's posts are pretty raw, right? For the most part. And, when you post stuff that is pretty raw, sometimes you're going to make mistakes, right? Clearly, his posts aren't super vetted all the time, right? That's just what it is. They claim that some staffer posted it. I don't know. And I really don't care if Trump posted it or a staffer posted it. At the end of the day, I am not offended. And I'm not going to engage in the performative outrage along with people who, in my opinion, have no leg to stand on when it comes to these issues about racism, hate, and bigotry, right? I'm not going to engage in performative outrage with the same people who laughed while justifying Charlie Kirk being assassinated. No, I'm not going to perform that type of outrage. I'm not going to engage in performative outrage for the same people who were totally fine with Joe Biden saying, hey, if you don't vote for me, then you ain't black, right? You remember Joe Biden, super predators? You remember that, right? Everybody remembers that. These people had no problems with it. They had no problems when Hillary Clinton was on the Breakfast Club talking about she keep hot sauce in her bag everywhere she goes, right? Black people too dumb to vote, okay? Or use a computer. You got Graham Plattner, who's running for Senate in Maine, running around with a Nazi tattoo, like literally a Nazi tattoo. Running around with a Nazi tattoo, okay? Nazi tattoo. No, I'm not getting on board with fake performative outrage with the same people who decided that it's totally fine, it's totally okay to vote for Jay Jones. Okay, the same guy who openly fantasized in text message about killing Republicans and their children, right? Democrats, when they were confronted about him and denouncing him, what do they do? What do they do? You talk about a guy in private text messages running for attorney general, top cop in Virginia. What did prominent Democrats do when this was exposed to the public that he was openly fantasizing about killing Republicans and their children? What was Democrats in their response?
Thank you, Ms. Bamberger. I didn't hear an answer there on the endorsement issue, so I want to just make sure. Will you continue to endorse Jay Jones to be the next Attorney General of Virginia? And were you aware of these text messages before they released? You have 30 seconds.
In fact, it appears that it was those who released the text messages and held them for years. So the public was unaware who had knowledge of these text messages for many years.
What did you do about it?
I learned of these text messages the day that they came out, and I denounced them as soon as I learned of them.
She denounces murder.
And importantly, at this point, as we move forward, the voters now have this information that was withheld for them,
You're running to
presumably for political
reasons.
But the voters now have the information, and it is up to voters to make an individual choice based on this information.
Ms. Bamberger, I understand what you're saying about the voters, but for you yourself, do you still continue to endorse Jay Jones? 15 seconds, yes or no?
We are all running our individual races. I believe my opponent has said that about her lieutenant governor nominee. And it's up to every person to make their own decision. I am running my race to serve Virginia, and that is what I intend.
A scandal over text messages in which he, the Democrat, said that the GOP Speaker of the House of Delegates should get 2 bullets to the head for how he paid tribute to a former moderate Democratic lawmaker who died. He has apologized. Should he get out of the race?
Well, that's up to the people, the leaders in Virginia. They have said he has apologized. What I understand is they say that on balance he's a better person to be Attorney General. But that's up to them. But I wish there would be enough fuss of all the times that people have said they were going to put a bullet in my head right in public, in the public.
Senator, because a lot of people look at this and I think they ask the question, if this were a Republican, would you be calling for him to drop out of the race?
Absolutely not. It's directly equivalent to things that the Republican gubernatorial candidate has publicly said, not in private text. Murder is murder, and your time will come. She said that in a public meeting speaking about pro-choice activists. I've not called for her to drop out of the race. The voters began voting in Virginia on September 19th. These are fair items for voters to consider as they cast their vote. But no, we're not calling for Republicans to drop out of races. We do say apologize. You have to take account for your actions, and voters can look at the actions and look at your sincerity if you apologize. Apologies are in short supply in politics these days.
Yeah. So you mean to tell me that the same people who could not crack their lips to unendorse and to call for the top cop candidate of Virginia to drop out of the race after being caught openly fantasizing about Republicans being assassinated and their children too, right? And also police too. You mean to tell me that I'm supposed to grovel to these people, that we're supposed to come out here and say, oh, Trump, what you posted was so racist. You need to apologize because we don't want Democrats to believe that you're a racist. Yeah, nah, it's not going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. Not for me. You're not going to see it for me. You might see it for some other people who, you know, hey, they can do what they want to do, but you're not going to see it from me. You're not going to see it from me. These people think that Trump is racist no matter what. It doesn't matter what he does. Clearly, what was posted was not something that was done on purpose, right? Clearly, it was not something that was malicious, right? And that wasn't even the intent. The intent of the video had nothing to do with what these people are upset about. But again, these are the same people who have nothing to say about, you know, liberals running around calling black people who are simply just, you know, defending the law, right? Defending our country from foreign invaders, N-words. Like, for example, we have another video that is going viral of some liberal, probably a white liberal, calling minorities the N-word.
No! Fuck are you doing? Move around!
That's bad. Oh, don't play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying in.
They got Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe Monkey too. They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he eat the banana like that?
Wow.
Oh, he alive.
He's the king of the jungle.
Oh, she a pig.
God.
Oh my goodness.
You know she lives in Houston?
She lives in Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bro.
Is that Harry?
That's Harry.
We all know.
She's a hippo.
Trump didn't actually make the video, y'all, but he did drop it. He seen it.
Way years ahead of schedule. We have thousands and thousands of businesses being built right now. So Joe Biden had no clue. If Joe Biden were elected or if Kamala were elected, we wouldn't have a country right now.
You won the election because of minority voters. Does this post maybe hurt Republicans with, you know, black voters after the...
I think, look, we did criminal justice reform. I did the historically black colleges and universities. I got them funded. Nobody has been, and that's why I got the highest vote with male black voters that they've seen in many, many decades. I've done great with them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. And I am, by the way, the least racist president you've had in a long time, as far as I'm concerned. We have... I've had a great relation. Think of what I've done. Criminal justice reform. Nobody else could do it. Obama couldn't do it. Nobody could do it. Clinton couldn't do it. They actually went the other way. They went into a very bad thing for African American people, black people. They went to it. They did very bad things. I did very good things. But criminal justice reform, and then I funded the universities, which nobody else was willing to do. They were going every year. They'd come back to Washington and they'd be begging for money, begging. I got to be friendly with some of the heads of the schools, and they would come back and they would literally tell me they're forcing us to beg. I'm the one that got them long-term financing and more than they were looking for. So there's nobody that's done more. And I think maybe more than anything else was criminal justice reform. They've been trying to get it for years, and I'm the one that got it done. So nobody can tell me about that. That somebody posts, a staffer, posts, and I knew it was all about. If you take a look at that and see the whole thing, it was a small section at the very end, but that was about fraudulent elections, which we have a lot of them. We're going to get it stopped. And I liked the beginning. I saw it and just passed it on. And I guess probably nobody reviewed the end of it because what I saw at the beginning was really, really strong. It was about fraudulent elections. And anytime I see that stuff and when it's credible, you put it up. but somebody slipped and missed a very small part. Now, by the way, again, the takeoff one, I guess, I didn't do it, by the way. This was done by somebody else. This was a retruth. That was not done by us. But that was a very strong truth. It was a very strong statement made about the fraudulent elections in a certain part of our country, which are really bad.
President, at the very least,
Post a racist post about, well, President Obama and Michelle Obama. Put it up, full mass. Here we go. Trump posted an AI video of Barack and Michelle Obama as apes in a jungle with the song "The Lion Sleeps Tonight" in the background. And now remember, this is during Black History Month. The Obamas briefly and suddenly appear near the end of the short video, which promotes false claims that voting machines helped steal the 2020 election, with their faces superimposed onto the bodies of apes. As the images appear for about 1 second, the start of the song, "The Lion Sleeps Tonight," plays in the background. The longer version of the video, first published online in October by the same X account with this watermark. The video Trump shared cast the president as a lion while portraying prominent Democrats and liberals as animal characters from Disney's The Lion King. The longer video also depicts Hillary Clinton as a warthog and the New York mayor, Mondani, as a hyena. The White House does have a response, but I don't want this to get lost in the back and forth. Obviously, it's racist. Obviously, it's bigoted, okay? There's another point in this that goes to what just happened in Fulton County. Once again, they are starting the rhetoric of a stolen election again. They're starting the rhetoric. So this was the genesis of the post about stolen elections from 2020. They just raided the Fulton County voting hub and illegally took voter information that was currently under court review via a motion from the Department of Justice. And instead of waiting for their court review to give them clearance or no clearance in order to do this insanity, they decided to file a criminal warrant against Fulton County and utilize that as their auspices to then steal voter information with the DNI appointee in charge. All right. So the White House has a response. In a response, if you call it that, for a comment from Variety, the White House press secretary, Carolyn Levitt, said in an email statement, quote, "This is from an internet meme video depicting President Trump as the king of the jungle and Democrats as characters from The Lion King. Please stop the fake outrage and report on something today that actually matters to the American public." Levitt also shared the full video, which depicted Hillary Clinton as a boar and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries as a meerkat, but those who were noticeably absent from the clip Trump shared. The video still up. The backlash of Tim Scott. Damn Tim. Tim Scott, the only black Republican in the House, tweeted, quote, "Praying it was fake because it's the most racist thing I've seen out of this White House. The president should remove it." Tim, sit your ass down. Sir, this man gutted your own program for minorities who own businesses, sir. This is the most racist thing you have seen. Put it back up again. This is the first time Tim has said something since the extreme racism of Trump. And he goes on record and says, praying it was fake. Praying? Sir, you're a United States senator. How about you call somebody? How about you demand something? How about you act as if you are an elected representative? The preacher can pray, but you were elected to do.
Ben Rhodes, former speechwriter for Obama, wrote, "Let it haunt Trump and his racist followers that future Americans will embrace the Obamas as beloved figures while studying him as a stain on our history." End quote. Gavin Newsom weighed in on the matter. Disgusting behavior by the president. Every single Republican must denounce this now. CNN White House correspondent Ms. Treen reported, just broke the news that the posts had been taken down. Treen quoted a senior Trump administrator as saying, quote, "A White House staffer erroneously made the post. It has been taken down." The post was up for 12 hours. Ms. Treen noted. Politico's West Wing playbook scribe, Sophia Kai, had additional reporting from my own White House source saying, quote, "President Trump did not see the video, legitimately didn't. A staffer posted it." Sophia added that, quote, "Only a small handful of staffers have access to Trump's Truth Social account." So the spin is, well, Trump didn't do it. He didn't know about it. He didn't approve it. He was unaware, even though it's him and his name, his administration. He's responsible. He's in charge. He's the person calling the shots. You have a couple of issues here. One, if this is happening and he's completely unaware, he's completely incompetent, which obviously is true on many levels anyway. Two, the reason why this is even happening is because Trump approves of racism. If Trump did not approve of racism, you would not have the prerequisite context for anyone to believe that this would be okay. And third, if Trump was not protective of racism, no one would believe it came from him in the first place. They would have assumed that a staffer did it, period.
Try to pretend as if he was amazing, he was a great guy, nothing racist about the guy. And if you bring up his racism, apparently that's irrelevant.
You know, Joe Biden was somewhat of a bridge. He was supposed to be a bridge or a palate cleanser or somebody who morally and ethically was antithetical to who Donald Trump was. You know, Uncle Joe was the nice guy, older white guy, comes in and you want to eat ice cream with him, right? Well, I think what that episode in our country's history showed us is that we really need some fumigation, right? We need a exorcism, for lack of a better term. We need a more aggressive approach to go in and surgically remove the cancer that is the Donald Trump and MAGA movement.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and nice-looking guy.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up two segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. "I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland," Biden said. "He never called me."
Oh, no, play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying in.
They
got Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe a monkey too. Monkey too.
Whoa.
Monkey too.
Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, that's some crazy work from Joe Biden, bruh. Bruh. Nobody's making videos defending Joe Biden, right? They only focus about Barack Obama. That's what their rage is right now about Barack Obama. But what about Joe Biden, bro? He's a monkey. Not only is he a monkey, he is doing the unthinkable to a banana, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the content creators making videos about Joe Biden doing the unthinkable to a banana? Then they got Kamala Harris as a turtle talking about, we did it, Joe, we did it. I wish I can play that clip. I'll get it next time, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know your take on the situation. I believe this is selective outrage. Why are y'all picking and choosing, talking about there was no apes in The Lion King? Yo, there was a whole baboon. There was some type of monkey in The Lion King. Now, keep it a spade. He could have put Barack Obama as a snake. Could have got your point across, because you know what snakes replicate. At least they get a bad rap in the Matrix. I digress. He could have put the Obamas as a snake. But instead he put them on top of apes? Come on now. Come on now. You already know the controversy, especially in Black History Month, especially if all the heat that you're facing, why add to it? And I understand, once again, he didn't make the video. He reposted the video. But he wants to backdoor and say he didn't watch the back end of the video. What president doesn't proofread? Then he's saying he's not the one to even upload that content on his social media. Meanwhile, you got Joe Biden doing the unthinkable to a banana. That's some crazy word. Let's go back into the content.
They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he eat the banana like that?
Wow.
Oh, he alive.
He's the king of the jungle.
Oh, she a pig. God. Oh my goodness.
You know she lives in Houston?
She lives in Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
is that Harry?
That's Harry. We all know. She's a hippo.
Trump didn't actually make the video, y'all, but he did drop it. He seen it. He seen it. Wow.
Always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done.
The senators that he is speaking of with such adoration are individuals who made and built their reputation on segregation. The Ku Klux Klan celebrated the election of one of them.
Using the word boy in the way he did can cause hurt and pain, and we need a presidential nominee and leader of our party to be sensitive to that.
My Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this. I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind a little bit.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. For a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
1987, he bragged about getting an award from George Wallace.
Biden bragged about an award from the notorious segregationist Governor George Wallace and told the Philadelphia Inquirer, I think the Democratic Party could stand a liberal George Wallace, someone who's not afraid to stand up and offend people.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent.
Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
Biden was remarking to an audience in South Virginia that included hundreds of black voters.
If Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot.
The reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
One thing Biden is being slammed for is the crime bill he helped write 25 years ago that many critics say resulted in mass incarceration, especially of young African-American men.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing.
It did contribute to mass incarceration in our country.
There's about 100,000 of them, if you want to be rhetorically extreme about it, who are the predators. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
First son Hunter Biden repeatedly called his white attorney the N-word.
He's a grown man. He is the smartest man I know.
Hunter Biden reportedly wrote to his attorney, quote, "How much money do I owe you because, N-word, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates." In a Another message, Biden began a text to his attorney with OMG N-word, and Biden responded at one point with true that N-word.
One chapter receiving fresh scrutiny comes from his earliest years in the Senate, when he strongly opposed mandatory school busing. It was designed to achieve integration and a more equitable education. What's less known is how he followed the lead of some of the Senate's most fervent segregationists.
Working with segregationists on an anti-busing agenda is very scary.
1977, Biden worried that his children would grow up in a, quote, racial, his words, jungle if integration is not done in a, quote, orderly way, whatever that means.
I guess one thing that is interesting to me is we never heard Biden criticized, and he eulogized a KKK recruiter, Senator Byrd. He said some kind of insane racist things like poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. He didn't want his children growing up in a racial jungle. So
you're talking
he was
about
president.
That's what Byrd said?
No, that was what Biden said. So he was president for 4 years.
Okay, this is the problem with American politics.
About that.
Actually, you did. As someone who worked on the Biden campaign, Black people were very critical of what Joe Biden did around the '94 crime bill, and
far more recently.
But here's the thing.
He said in that election, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Guess what? And you know what? Joe Biden is not the president anymore, right? And part of what is the outcome is when people say things, there are consequences. We are not talking about Joe Biden. We are talking about on February 6th, 2026, in the year of our Lord and Savior, Donald Trump retweeted the former first black president of the United States, first black first lady of the United States. And did you watch the opening I did? He retweeted them or retruthed them or whatever he does as apes. Full stop. I don't care what Joe Biden said. Demand more from your president.
Absolutely.
Have the moral courage to demand more.
He withdrew it, right? Number one. And number two,
after they lied about it.
Okay, but just
he didn't apologize, though. He didn't apologize. A withdrawal and an apology are not the same thing.
So people who didn't see it know, he didn't create this video. It
doesn't matter.
No, it absolutely does matter. If he sat there and he said, let me make these people look like this, that's a big difference. That matters. Okay, I'm going to respectfully disagree that it would matter if he thought about it. Let me answer.
And, worth noting also, the president had an opportunity today to say something about it. He didn't, okay? So next, should Trump supporters own his bad behavior? One vote, does it reflect on, if you are a Trump supporter and it doesn't matter to you that he is trafficking in racist tropes, does that reflect back on you?
If you were a Menendez supporter, who got convicted of bribes.
In a really ugly incident we saw in Minnesota, protesters called an ICE officer the N-word.
Those protesters are not the president of the
That's bad. Oh, no, play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying in.
They Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe. Oh, monkey too.
Yo, prayers for Joe Biden, man. Joe Biden is still alive. I'm saying what's on the screen, man. This is some crazy work. People outrage about Obama. What about Joe Biden, man? What about his legacy? This is a nasty way to go out, bruh. Everybody else is these cute little animals, you know what I'm saying? Kamala Harris is a turtle. I mean, it is what it is. Joe Biden got it the worst, bruh. Why they got him eating a banana like that, bruh? No content creators are making videos about Joe Biden. I'm outraged. I'm pissed about that. He was your former president. Y'all got love for Bush. Y'all love Bush. Biden out here eating a whole banana like that? Paul. Man, selective outrage, bruh. Selective outrage. They want to get mad and pick and choose. Joe Biden, he's a monkey. He's a monkey. Is this racist? Is Joe Biden right now, is he racist? Is this portrayed as racist? Now, keep it a spade. They could have put the Obamas on a snake. You already know what time it is. If you put a black person on an ape, what type of controversy you're going to face. But once again, Trump did not make the video. And as he stated, it was in the back end of the clip that he didn't watch. That's his responsibility. Nevertheless, he did not make the video, ladies and gentlemen. Stop believing these content creators saying that Trump made the video. Now, even what I'm saying, take with a grain of salt and do your own analysis and research. Find out the truth for yourself. Don't believe these content creators as if everything they say is law. Stop the cap.
They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he eat the banana like that?
Wow.
Oh, he a lie.
He's the king of the jungle.
Oh, she a pig. Oh my goodness.
You know she lives in Houston?
She lives in Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But
is that Harry?
That's Harry.
We all know
She's a hippo.
Trump didn't actually make the video, y'all, but he did drop it. He seen it. He seen it. Wow.
Have to own that?
That was unacceptable too.
I don't think that leftists have to own that. I don't think that Republicans have to own.
He is the president. That's a important fact here. He is the president.
Wow, amazing. Absolutely amazing. The mental gymnastics are just fascinating, right? It's very entertaining to watch, okay? I want you guys to understand. When it comes to Biden and his racism, right? The dude was literally a segregationist, okay? A segregationist. This is the same guy that liberals blame for locking up all those black people, which apparently was the worst thing in the world to actually, hold black people accountable for crimes, right? Terrible, absolutely terrible racism from Joe Biden. The same guy that claimed that if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. He eulogized a Klansman, right? Like, when people bring up the fact that the media didn't care that much about that, they didn't talk about Biden's racism during his 4 years in office. Apparently, that's irrelevant, right? Apparently, that doesn't matter. When Democrat voters say, hey, we're going to vote for segregationists, a guy that, again, was not for busing, right? Kamala Harris called him out on stage at the Democrat Party debate for being a racist and also a sexual abuser, right? Sexual assaulter as well, too, right? Gotta vote me, too. Democrats say, you know what? We're going to hold our nose and vote for him anyways, right? But they want to lecture us on a meme, right, that was accidentally posted by the president, right? Amazing, absolutely amazing. And then when you bring up the fact that, hey, you have liberal lunatics who are running around calling ICE agents, black ICE agents, the N-word, well, apparently that doesn't matter either, right? That's not newsworthy to CNN, okay? Oh, well, they're not the president, right? It's like, well, again, the president accidentally posted a meme. Okay, let's talk about some actual, racism, or what the left would consider to be racism from liberals, right? No, we don't want to talk about that. But we all know that if Trump supporters invaded a abortion center or whatever and started calling the doctors, the black nurses, N-words, right? We know that would be front page news on CNN, and they'd be saying, hey, is this a reflection of, all Trump supporters, right? Is this a reflection of the base, right? The racist MAGA base. This is what they would be saying, right? But let a white liberal multiple times on camera call a black ICE officer an N-word. Well, see, they're not the president. So, hey, I guess it don't matter, right? It's not worth talking about. The hypocrisy is stunning. I personally just don't give a damn, right? I don't think that the president is racist, okay? But these people think that the president is racist no matter what. They're just using this to confirm their belief. So there's no point in even arguing with these people about it. Because it's really about politics, not racism. Because they don't give a damn about racism from the left. They don't care about these white liberals running around calling these black officers the N-word. They don't care about that. They don't care about voting for a segregationist, okay? For, somebody who locked up all these black people, which, again, they claim was the worst thing ever to happen to black folks. They don't care about that, right? All they care about is politics, right? And they're already convinced in their minds that Trump is a racist, and there's nothing that anybody can say to convince them otherwise, so there's no point, right? But see, here's the reality of the Democrat Party, right? Democrats run around and act like they're not racist, but at the end of the day, when it comes to how they operate, they certainly have feelings about black folks that if you actually listen to them, hey, I think that it's very clear that they do operate on what they would consider to be racist stereotypes, especially when you talk about getting votes. Like, for example, James Carville here in his interview said something that, again, if a Trump supporter said, if a Republican or a conservative said, would go viral, right? It would be a very viral clip that the news media would be talking about and say, hey, is this racism? Is this really what Republicans think about black folks? Listen to this guy talk about what Democrats need to do in 2028 in order to win the black vote with white guys. Listen to this.
Who is the Democrat that you see who can carry the flag into 2028? Kamala Harris?
No.
AOC?
No.
Rahm Emanuel?
To win the Democratic nomination, you have to ask yourself two really important questions. One, can you raise a lot of early money? The second question you have to ask yourself, who can walk into a black fish fry in South Carolina, a black church? Now, they can be nice. They're very polite people.
Yeah.
But who is going to get them to hum and sway? If I had to say one guy, if I were like betting the Kentucky Derby and I saw this 12-to-1 horse and I said, yeah, I want to get a price, I'd take J.B. Pritzker.
Really? Why?
Well,
not Kamala Harris? She's black.
She has no chance.
Why not?
Because no Democrat wants anything to do with anybody that had anything to do with 2024.
So Kamala Harris can't get the black community to sway and hum?
No, they're not. No. And the other thing is, and this is the best news
Absolutely
for Democrats that the party can possibly have.
Yeah.
Just win. They don't. If we nominate two white males, no one's going to give a shit.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, again, if a Republican strategist, a famous Republican strategist had said something like that, again, it will be viral. They'd be talking about it on the news. What this dude, James Carville, is saying out loud is that, hey, in order to appeal to these Negroes, we got to get them to sway and hum. We got to show it to a fish fry with some KFC, right? with some fried chicken, and we got to get them to sway and hum. What is he really saying? What he's saying is that we got to appeal to their emotions, right? We don't need to talk policy. We don't need to sit down and have an intellectual conversation with them. We have to appeal to their emotions, right? We have to pander to them in ways that we feel black Americans are going to support us, right? Again, he would never say that about any other community. He'd never say that about any other community, right? But he's saying that about black people because he's letting you know in his mind what Democrats believe they need to do in order to win over black folks, right? They need to put on a show. Because, them Negroes, they don't respond to, academic conversations, intellectualism, nothing like that, right? Policy. No, they respond to feelings, right? Fish fries, fried chicken, collards, right? Rap, okay? Booty shaking, twerking, right? Y'all saw what Kamala did when she basically started her campaign, had Megan Thee Stallion shaking ass. I think that was the first rally in Atlanta. That's what they believe. That's what they believe. That is what they believe about black people. But I'm supposed to be mad about President Trump accidentally posted some meme with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama is apes and monkeys, right? No, right? I'm just not going to be, right? I'm not going to be because these people don't care. The same people who are outraged right now don't care when it's a Democrat, when it's one of their own engaging in what they consider to be racist hate. They don't care. They don't care, okay? They appeal to black folks in the most stereotypically racist ways possible, as you just saw there. And again, look who they voted for. Look who they voted. They voted for Joe Biden, an actual segregationist, right? But I'm supposed to be mad about a meme. Come on, get out of here. Again, the president should not apologize. I'm glad he did not apologize. I would lose respect for him if he apologized. There's nothing to apologize for. He didn't do anything wrong. Ultimately, at the end of the day, the mainstream liberal media, this is fake outrage. So let them fake outrage. Move on, right? Who cares? They're going to think that he's a racist.
But we know everything. And when you look at what's happening with our economy, and think of it, we're way years ahead of schedule. We have thousands and thousands of businesses being built right now. So Joe Biden had no clue. If Joe Biden were elected or if Kamala were elected, we wouldn't have a country right now.
You won the election because of minority voters. Does this post maybe hurt Republicans with, black voters after the...
We did criminal justice reform. I did the historically black colleges and universities. I got them funded. Nobody has been, and that's why I got the highest vote with male black voters that they've seen in many, many decades. I've done great with them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. And I am, by the way, the least racist president you've had in a long time, as far as I'm concerned. We have, I've had a great relation. Think of what I've done. Criminal justice reform. Nobody else could do it. Obama couldn't do it. Nobody could do it. Clinton couldn't do it. They actually went the other way. They went into a very bad thing for African American people, black people. They went to it. They did very bad things. I did very good things. But criminal justice reform, and then I funded the universities, which nobody else was willing to do. They were going every year. They'd come back to Washington and they'd be begging for money, begging. I got to be friendly with some of the heads of the schools, and they would come back and they would literally tell me they're forcing us to beg. I'm the one that got them long-term financing and more than they were looking for. So there's nobody that's done more. And I think maybe more than anything else was criminal justice reform. They've been trying to get it for years, and I'm the one that got it done. So nobody can tell me about that. That somebody posts a staffer, post, and I knew it was all about. If you take a look at that and see the whole thing, it was a small section at the very end, but that was about fraudulent elections, which we have a lot of them. We're going to get.
That's bad. Oh, no, play the full clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying in.
They got
they Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe a monkey too. They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he eat the banana like that?
Wow.
Oh, he alive.
He's the king of the jungle.
Oh, she a pig.
God.
Oh my goodness.
You know she lives in Houston?
She lives in Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bruh.
Is that Harry?
That's Harry.
We all know
She's a hippo.
Trump didn't actually make the video, y'all, but he did drop it. He seen it. He seen it. Wow.
Stop. And I liked the beginning. I saw it and just passed it on. And I guess probably nobody reviewed the end of it because what I saw at the beginning was really, really strong. It was about fraudulent elections. And anytime I see that stuff and when it's credible, you put it up. But somebody slipped and missed a very small part. Now, by the way, again, the takeoff one, I guess, I didn't do it, by the way. This was done by somebody else. This was a retruth. That was not done by us. But that was a very strong truth. It was a very strong statement made about the fraudulent elections in a certain part of our country, which are really bad.
President, at the very least, do you condemn the racist parts of the video?
Of course I do. Yeah.
We
have two great teams. Bob Kraft is a fabulous owner, a friend of mine. New England's amazing that they're there. Who would think? It's like a second, you can't say dynasty yet. They had a dynasty. You have to win a lot of games before you create another one. But I think it's going to be a great game. There's a lot of interesting storylines. Going to be very interesting.
Somewhat of a bridge. He was supposed to be a bridge or a palate cleanser or somebody who morally and ethically was antithetical to who Donald Trump was. You know, Uncle Joe was the nice guy, older white guy, comes in and you want to eat ice cream with him, right? Well, I think what that episode in our country's history showed us is that we really need some fumigation, right? We need a exorcism, for lack of a better term. We need a more aggressive approach to go in and surgically remove the cancer that is the Donald Trump and MAGA movement.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and nice-looking guy.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up two segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy. He always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done.
The senators that he is speaking of with such adoration are individuals who made and built their reputation on segregation. The Ku Klux Klan celebrated the election of one of them.
Using the word boy in the way he did can cause hurt and pain, and we need
a presidential nominee and leader of our party to be sensitive to that.
My Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this. I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind a little bit.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. For a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
1987, he bragged about getting an award from George Wallace.
Biden bragged about an award from the notorious segregationist Governor George Wallace and told the Philadelphia Inquirer, I think the Democratic Party could stand a liberal George Wallace, someone who's not afraid to stand up and offend people.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Biden was remarking to an audience in South Virginia that included hundreds of black voters.
If Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot.
The reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
One thing Biden is being slammed for is the crime bill he helped write 25 years ago that many critics say resulted in mass incarceration, especially of young African-American men.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing.
It did contribute to mass incarceration in our country.
There's about 100,000 of them, if you want to be rhetorically extreme about it, who are the predators. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
First son Hunter Biden repeatedly called his white attorney the N-word.
He's a grown man. He is the smartest man I know.
Hunter Biden reportedly wrote to his attorney, quote, how much money do I owe you because, N-word, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates. In another message, Biden began a text his attorney with OMG N-word, and Biden responded at one point with true that N-word.
One chapter receiving fresh scrutiny comes from his earliest years in the Senate, when he strongly opposed mandatory school busing. It was designed to achieve integration and a more equitable education. What's less known is how he followed the lead of some of the Senate's most fervent segregationists.
Working with segregationists on an anti-busing agenda is very scary.
1977, Biden worried that his children would grow up in a, quote, racial, his words, jungle if integration is not done in a, quote, orderly way, whatever that means.
I guess one thing that is interesting to me is we never heard Biden criticized, and he eulogized a KKK recruiter, Senator Byrd. He said some kind of insane racist things like poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. He didn't want his children growing up in a racial jungle. So
you're talking
he was
about
president.
That's what Byrd said?
No, that was what Biden said. So he was president for 4 years.
Okay, this is the problem with American politics.
About that.
Actually, you did. As someone who worked on the Biden campaign, black people were very critical of what Joe Biden did around the '94 crime bill, and
far more recently.
But here's the thing.
He said in that election, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Guess what? And you know what? Joe Biden is not the president anymore, right? And part of what is the outcome is when people say things, there are consequences. We are not talking about Joe Biden. We are talking about on February 6th, 2026, in the year of our Lord and Savior, Donald Trump retweeted the former first black president of the United States, first black first lady of the United States. And did you watch the opening I did? He retweeted them or retruthed them or whatever he does as apes. Full stop. I don't care what Joe Biden said. Demand more from your president.
Absolutely.
Have the moral courage to demand more.
He withdrew it, right? Number one. And number two,
after they lied about it.
Okay, but just
he didn't apologize, though. He didn't apologize. A withdrawal and an apology are not the same thing.
So people who didn't see it know, he didn't create this video. It
doesn't matter.
No, it absolutely does matter. If he sat there and he said, let me make these people look like this, that's a big difference.
That matters.
Okay, I'm going to respectfully disagree that it would matter if he thought about it. Let me answer.
And, worth noting also, the president had an opportunity today to say something about it. He didn't, okay? So next, should Trump supporters own his bad behavior. One vote doesn't reflect on, if you are a Trump supporter and it doesn't matter to you that he is trafficking in racist tropes. Does that reflect back on you?
If you were a Menendez supporter, who got
Earlier
convicted
this
of
week,
bribes.
in a really ugly incident we saw in Minnesota, protesters called an ICE officer the N-word.
Those protesters are not the president of the United States.
Do leftists have to own that?
That was unacceptable too.
I don't think that leftists have to own that. I don't think that Republicans have to own.
He is the president. That's a important fact here. He is the president.
Wow, amazing. Absolutely amazing. The mental gymnastics are just fascinating, right? It's very entertaining to watch, okay? I want you guys to understand. When it comes to Biden and his racism, right? The dude was literally a segregationist, okay? A segregationist. This is the same guy that
That's what they're calling it, I guess, that Trump posted yesterday. Folks immediately rushed out to suggest that the video was posted by a staffer. I mean, there's been a bunch of stories that came out. Carolyn Levitt gave her own explanation of it. Obviously, MAGA were all over social media giving various explanations of what Trump was trying to say. Nevertheless, Trump ultimately did chime in himself and explain what the hell that was we were looking at. I suppose in some detail, not totally.
Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I looked at the beginning of it, it was fine. They had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered, if you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff of The Lion King. I am, by the way, the least racist president you've had in a long time, as far as I'm concerned.
What does that mean?
Wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and tortured the souls of young men. And you're still doing it.
Jay-Z and Pusha T. There's no way out of this one. You're done. Jay-Z and Pusha T were just named in the Epstein files. Now, I'ma keep it 1,000 with y'all, bro. I've been knowing for years that Jay-Z is a weirdo. Now, Pusha T definitely caught me off guard, but we'll get into Pusha T later. But Jay-Z, if your third eye is open, you been knew about Jay-Z and Rock Nation.
You don't want to with them. You don't.
Now, I'm damn near risking my life making this video because y'all know Rock Nation is quick to send those SUVs to my crib. Jay-Z was best friends with Diddy, bro. Weirdo. We need to stop acting like we're surprised that he's on this list. My nigga, we all knew Jay-Z's time was coming. It was only a matter of when. Now, of course, all these old heads idolize Jay-Z because he's this legendary rapper. My nigga, the music is just a distraction. Jay-Z's been a weirdo ever since the 90s, bro. We didn't forget, before Beyonce, you took advantage of Aaliyah.
Oh my God, what is he doing?
Okay, D Green, you're playing in some hot water. My nigga, Aaliyah was probably like a sophomore in this picture. And Jay-Z was probably like at least 25. Weirdo. And Jay-Z, you were also great friends with R. Kelly.
Come on.
Y'all really can't be surprised that Jay-Z is in these Epstein files. My nigga, the signs have been there for years and years and years. Jay-Z is not innocent. I mean, yeah, he's a billionaire. When you have this much money, it's easier to cover things up. But everything in the dark comes to light. And another reason that Jay-Z is protected is because he's married to Beyonce. Of course, Jay-Z taking advantage of another young woman, but Beyonce is just as guilty. Trust me, Beyonce has seen a lot of shit. Y'all see Beyonce as this queen bee.
Sure.
This picture
Wait 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Beyonce doing that brings this video to my mind.
Help me! Help me! Help me!
All right, we're just waiting for the Spanish-speaking officer.
No, I'm gonna call 911. I need to call 911 on the speaker on my phone.
We are the police. You do not need to go back to your car.
Why am I looking like this?
I don't know why you're
I
thinking
need to go to the ambulance. If you're not gonna take care of me.
All right.
What is happening? This has never happened to me. I'm gonna call
You're
the
not going back to your
ambulance.
car.
Call the ambulance. Please, I'm
not in an
asking you
ambulance right now.
to call the ambulance. I'm freaking out. This has never happened. I have never taken anything other than alcohol.
Image. If y'all only knew half of what goes down behind the scenes, bro. Bro, I ain't forget this video with Diddy and Beyonce. Shit! Look, Jay-Z spawned out of nowhere. He knew what type time Diddy was on. Why was Diddy touching Beyonce? And why did he put his hand down as soon as Jay-Z spawned? You know why.
I told y'all Beyonce be showing up in his dreams. This is Beyonce physical form. Nigga, Beyonce is an S-rank demon, my nigga. Seriously.
Now, a lot of people are scared to speak on this topic, bro, because they know how dangerous Rock Nation is, bro. Like I said, after I drop this video, I'm changing all the locks on my doors. Rock Nation is not getting me, bro.
Good luck.
They said Shade Room posted about this, and then they instantly took the post down.
You know what's really crazy is that the Shade Room just posted this and then immediately took it down. It's no longer on their page. I just screenshotted it because I was going through my stuff, and when I went to look at the comments, it was like unable to load. They took the post down.
But Jay-Z, you can't hide. These Epstein files were posted by the government. My nigga, you're cooked. There's literally no escaping this, bro. You can only hide for so long, my nigga. You're eventually gonna have to address this. And Pusha T, you really thought you was safe? Bring your ass here, boy. You really thought you was safe? You call yourself exposing Drake for having a kid? My nigga, you was Bill Cosby in those kids. Allegedly. Bro, Kendrick looks goofy as hell right now, bruh. All this calling Drake a PDF file, but whole time it's the niggas in your circle. Niggas that you look up to are the real PDF files. What he say? They not like us. They not like us. Okay. Now this Harvey Weinstein dude, he's one of the biggest elite weirdos there is, bro. And turns out he was good friends with Jay-Z and Pusha T. They all used to party together and Bill Cosby people. They said in approximately 1996, some woman got abducted from her home. And when she woke up, she seen this Harvey Weinstein dude and Jay-Z.
Ho! Good morning. Shaboy!
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means?
He's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
And my nigga, they're obviously close friends. Look! Jay-Z having the time of his life, having flashbacks. I'm talking about their scene together multiple times. They said Jay-Z was riding to Epstein Island like these.
Shaboy! Jigga man.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, Drake's next album might be his best album of all time, bro. Y'all know how Drake is, bro. He's gonna address all these things subliminally. They already calling Pusha T Pusha Teen. Jay-Z and Beyonce, y'all know what y'all have done, bro. The gig is up. You're caught.
I'm focused, man.
Why do y'all think Jay-Z rarely leaves the house, bro? Y'all barely see Beyonce and Jay-Z out in public. It's because they have something to hide. And oh yeah, they said Bill Gates? They said he got some STDs from some random Russians? Huh? Bro, there's a lot going down in those Epstein files I was not supposed to see, bro. They said the Epstein dude got banned on Xbox Live? Weirdo. They said Elon Musk was like damn near on his knees begging to go to Epstein Island? Weirdo. This is the nigga that... owns Twitter? I ain't gonna lie, bro. In this Matrix, nothing really catches me off guard. I don't idolize no grown man, bro. I idolize God. That's it, bro. All these old heads looking up to Jay-Z, and whole time Jay-Z is a PDF file.
Yes, sir.
Allegedly. Do not send those SUVs to my house because I said this is all allegedly.
Sure.
This moment, your ex-husband, Bill, is named in the newest tranche of Epstein files. And there are a new alleged details about his past behavior. And I want to give you the opportunity to respond in whatever way you want to.
Well, let me say this. I think we're having a reckoning as a society, right? No girl should ever be put in the situation that they were put in by Epstein and whatever was going on with all of the various people around him. No girl. I mean, it's beyond heartbreaking, right? I remember being those ages those girls were. I remember my daughters being those ages, right? So for me, it's personally hard whenever those details come up, right? Because brings back memories of some very, very painful times in my marriage, but I have moved on from that. I purposely pushed it away and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
So she clearly is throwing him under the bus, and she's, in so many words, insinuating that he was involved with Jeffrey Epstein. And it wasn't just casual, but let's continue.
I am so happy to be away from all the muck that was there.
I have to put more words to the muck for context for our listeners. The emails in the files suggest that Bill Gates had additional affairs and that he tried to get medication to treat a sexually transmitted infection and that he was going to give you the medicine without you knowing. His representative has said all of this is false.
Giving medicine without the other party consent is crazy work. Was he planning to mush the medicine and put the medicine in her oatmeal or her coffee? Like, so Bill Gates gave his wife STD and was going to give her medicine without her consent is crazy work.
It is not on you to have to respond to the details of that alleged behavior, but I wonder what your dominant emotion is when you read these news articles with these details.
Sad. Just unbelievable sadness. Unbelievable sadness, right? And again, I'm able to take my own sadness and look at those young girls and say, my God, how did that happen to those girls, right? And so for me, it's just sadness for, I left my marriage. I had to leave my marriage. I wanted to leave my marriage. I had to leave I felt I needed to eventually leave the foundation. So it's just sad. That's the truth, right? And it's kind of like, at least for me, I've been able to move on in life. And I hope there's some justice for those now women, right? We see them standing up in front of microphones in D.C. What they went through is just unimaginable, I think.
ABJ's wise and strong. I'm so used to saying wise, strong, and smooth. ABJ says, I had to close that window that was behind me. Says, how long ago did this happen? How long ago did what happen? Did she do the interview? She just did the interview yesterday. This dropped yesterday, right? Immediately people caught on. I just so happened to be Googling it during the Millionaire Morning Show. And she said yesterday. So 2 things was insinuated in this clip. I didn't even see anything like it was a long interview or anything, but she basically was asked first about her husband getting caught up in this whole Epstein thing and all of these files coming out. And she basically saying that that was one of the reasons. She insinuated that that was the direct reason why she got divorced. Then the interviewer asked her again, because I want to bring y'all up to speed on what's going on. The interviewer asked her again, what she felt about documentation saying that he caught an STD. A lot of people saying it was from a Russian stripper. I don't know anything about that. And that he wanted to give her medicine and medication prior to her even knowing that he had caught an STD, because apparently he had gave it to her too. And he was trying to give it to her without her knowledge. And she didn't deny either one of them. She did not deny either one of them. She practically confirmed it. Practically confirmed it. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't understand that. But so Bill Gates appeared, I believe, on like an Australian broadcast or something like that. And he was asked questions, I believe intentionally, because he was there speaking about science and how he's still planning on giving away over the next 20 years all of his fortune and how he's dedicated to humanity and all of this stuff. And in the midst of this interview, he was asked about the whole Epstein situation after Melinda Gates just did a whole thing about it and had her whole say. So this is what Bill Gates had to say about the whole thing.
Under that issue of trust brings me to Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know what your relationship with him was.
Yeah, I met Jeffrey in 2011. So over a period of 3 years, I had a number of dinners with him. The focus was always, he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I've said many times, but I'll say again, I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him.
You've no doubt seen the allegations, including some of them from the last 24 to 48 hours. Are they true?
No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false.
I'll read this.
So I don't know what his thinking was there. Was he trying to attack me in some way? But it just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I apologize that I did that.
The problem is some of the things that he has sent and some of the information about other people that has come up in those files has been true. Why would he do this and say this about you, do you think?
It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
Is it frustrating to you, given what you've said, that this is now happening?
Not really. I mean, people should, hold people who are successful to a very high bar. And so, it's, as these documents come out, they're going to be closely scrutinized.
Okay.
I am heavy on never convicting people in a court of public opinion, considering if they are being arrested, if they are public figures. I think that a lot of times people don't get enough benefit of the doubt, and we automatically jump to conclusions and we start throwing people under the bus. Now, with that being said, I'm going to make a special exception today. I don't personally believe this nigga not one bit. I don't. With all of the money and all of the intellect and all of the research and all of the things that he's funding, and listen, if he's doing all of these great things for the world, God bless him. God bless him. But let me tell you something. I don't believe this nigga not one time. You know how we say don't believe women, prove it? Like, I don't believe all women. Why are they saying that? This is the one exception that I'm gonna make. This is the one exception that I'm going to make. Terrible People Podcast says he handled it perfectly, but he didn't. But he didn't. You know the perfect way to handle this? You know what the perfect way to handle this was? Think about this for a second. This is Bill Gates. Arguably over the last 40 plus years, Bill Gates has been one of the most, if not the most, arguably famous person on the face of the earth. I'm not talking about basketball famous. I'm not talking about rap star famous. I'm not talking about country singer famous. I'm talking about Bill Gates is synonymous with the very devices that we use in some capacity. Very rare. You can't find anybody in the United States of America that is not using a Bill Gates device in some capacity. Even if you're an Apple person, you've used Microsoft Word, OneDrive, PowerPoint, spreadsheets, ChatGPT. Microsoft is invested in ChatGPT. In some way, shape, or form, you, your child, in the school that they in, using a PC, anything. At some point, you're using a product that he is the grandfather of. In some way, shape, or form. There's no way for us to get around it in order for us to exist in this technologically advanced world. Xbox Live, correct. LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft. In some way, shape, or form, you are using a, matter of fact, Microsoft and Bill Gates was one of the investors in Apple and giving him the lifeline, a financial lifeline, in order for him to come back and change the company around. Even if you're an Apple fan and you're using only Macs and iPhones and stuff, you are in some way, shape, or form attached to a Microsoft product. So when you think about that, for a second, right? He is arguably one of the most impactful and innovative people on the face of this earth still alive right now. This is just the facts. This is not my opinion. This is not how I feel about him. It's the facts, right? Are you telling me? Because I know that he is probably has people around him, all around him, that's vetting people. Probably got people trying to figure out who people and people work. And see, this is the difficulty with men. You want to know what the difficulty with men is? I'm going to show you the difficulty with men. The interesting thing about men is we are the smartest, most innovative. I'm not talking about women. I'm talking about men. We are the smartest, most innovative people.
That's bad.
That's bad. Oh, don't play the phone clip, bro.
Hold on, bro. And this monkey's flying in.
They got Timon and Pumbaa. Oh, this is like Lion King.
Yeah, the donkey.
She's an ass.
This shit is crazy.
Wow.
Oh, they got Joe a monkey too. They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he?
They got Joe a monkey too.
Yo, why they got Joe Biden eating that banana like that, ladies and gentlemen? Where's the videos for Joe Biden? Justice for Joe Biden, bruh. Going out sad. This man is doing the unthinkable to this banana, man. Pause. And he's a baboon. But people only focus on Obama, right? What about Joe Biden, bruh?
They got Kamala as a turtle.
Bro, why did he eat the banana like that?
Wow.
Oh, he alive.
He's the king of the jungle.
Oh, she a pig.
God.
Oh my goodness.
You know she lives in Houston?
She lives in Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bruh.
Is that Harry?
That's
All right,
Harry.
we
Look
all
at
know-
Whoopi. She's a hippo.
Trump didn't actually make the video, y'all, but he did drop it. He seen it. He seen it. Wow.
Racist. I mean, look, if I say, the least of something, that doesn't mean you're excluded from it. Why is he calling himself the least racist? I gotta get some mag on here to explain that, because I don't know what the term the least racist mean. That does indicate that it sounds like there is some racism in you. You're just suggesting that it may be less in you than other presidents. Least racist out of everybody, huh? Oh, wow, that's interesting. So we're going to talk about that. I'm finagling with something down here, but we're going to talk about that as well. That's called the lie, Tim says body snatcher. Well, the man says he's the least racist. So we got to take the man at his word, right? If he says he's the least racist we've ever had, unless you're suggesting that President Trump would go on Air Force One and on television and lie to.
And you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Takeoff on the Lion King, and certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it, and probably they would have had the sense to take it down. But that was a takeoff on the Lion King, and a lot of people were covered on in different positions. So, but I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy. He understood that 100%.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Again, the president is refusing to.
You know, Joe Biden was somewhat of a bridge. He was supposed to be a bridge or a palate cleanser or somebody who morally and ethically was antithetical to who Donald Trump was. You know, Uncle Joe was the nice guy, older white guy, comes in and you want to eat ice cream with him, right? But I think what that episode in our country's history showed us is that we really need some fumigation, right? We need a exorcism, for lack of a better term. We need a more aggressive approach to go in and surgically remove the cancer that is the Donald Trump and MAGA movement.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I mean, you got the first sort of mainstream African American who was articulate and bright and clean and nice-looking guy.
Biden recalling his early Senate career, bringing up two segregationist senators, Herman Talmadge and James Eastland, who called African Americans an inferior race. I was in a caucus with James O. Eastland, Biden said. He never called me boy. He always called me son. At least there was some civility. We got things done.
The senators that he is speaking of with such adoration are individuals who made and built their reputation on segregation. The Ku Klux Klan celebrated the election of one of them.
Using the word boy in the way he did can cause hurt and pain, and we need a presidential nominee and leader of our party to be sensitive to that.
My Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this. I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the Negro, good for the black. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed their mind a little bit.
As also noted, Robert C. Byrd was a parliamentary library, a keeper of the institution of the Senate, and he was the institution itself. For a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
1987, he bragged about getting an award from George Wallace.
Biden bragged about an award from the notorious segregationist Governor George Wallace and told the Philadelphia Inquirer, I think the Democratic Party could stand a liberal George Wallace, someone who's not afraid to stand up and offend people.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. Unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Biden was remarking to an audience in South Virginia that included hundreds of black voters.
If Haiti just quietly sunk into the Caribbean or rose up 300 feet, it wouldn't matter a whole lot.
The reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf.
One thing Biden is being slammed for is the crime bill he helped write 25 years ago that many critics say resulted in mass incarceration, especially of young African-American men.
Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without...
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe to this platform and also hit the bell notification so you will be notified when I do go live. Top of the morning. Take care of yourself. If you don't, who is? I'm gonna land my plane with this. All of this is a distraction. At the end of the day, make sure that you take care of yourself, because no politician is going to pay for your bills. No politician is going to make sure that you take care of business. So don't let the next man determine where you're going to eat. We have people this past November waiting on EBT as if the next man is going to determine when and when not you're going to eat. That's some crazy ass work. I also want to play this clip of this rapper named Gorilla. She was referring to her sister. Her sister's been talking a lot of trash on her name, saying that she left the family out cold. I'm gonna leave with this.
And they laughing at you and not with you. You making a fool out of yourself. I want you to know that. Like, I could have got on there and told them how you broke out of Lakeside. How you had to take an IQ test and they determined that you had to go to the mental hospital. And how you broke out that bitch. And they had to find you and come bring you back. You're a mental patient. So I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. And the world is making fun of you, and I hate that for you. But continue to get your money, continue to do whatever you do, but do it on your own, of your own name. Or you can use my name, but not in no bad way. Don't be on no, oh, I'm Glorilla. Don't lie on me with it, bitch. You could have kept going with the stud realist shit. People saying you look like me, the stud version of me. Bitch, do it like that. I might would have went ahead and did something with you. But I don't fuck with you. My siblings that I don't fuck with, they know why I don't fuck with them. Me getting money don't make it no difference. If I didn't fuck with you 7 years ago, I still don't fuck with you no matter that I got money, bitch. Go get your own money. Go get it how I had to get it, bitch. I don't owe you a fuck ass thing. Bitch. Now, I hope this run you up too, bitch. Go live screaming at the phone with your goddamn schizophrenic motherfucking ass and make you some money, bitch. And keep my name out your mouth, keep my mama name out your mouth, keep my daddy.
Are just walking off, thinking it's okay Tuesday, and they want to go visit the Trump. They want to blame the Trump administration. We have Democrats blaming ICE. I'm tired. My people are suffering. I'm scared for my little brother. My people are suffering, and these people just walk off. We have a governor who fucking does.
Motherfuckers ain't in love with the game. Y'all don't respect the game.